Okay, well let's get started. You all know today's the last class and we're going to have our tournament. You notice over there's some prizes. We're going to actually have the opportunity to do what's called a round robin. You know what that is? That means you'll get a chance to, hopefully if we have time, to play everybody in the class one game of short rack baseball. Okay? And like I said last week, Carl can't make it today because his wife had surgery. So, you know, if you want advice or help on any shot as we're going through, raise your hand and I'll come over and kind of give you my best idea of what you might want to do. You know, in terms of shot selection, safety, or whether it's stripes or solids, that kind of thing, any of those types of things. Now, before we get to that, I absolutely have to talk a little bit about English. Because I can't get through a whole class without giving you a little instruction on that. Not that you have to jump into that or anything, but at least know a little bit about it so when it does come up, you know what to do. Now, I saw a movie many years ago, Woody Allen. I guess he's lost favor a lot, but everything you always wanted to know about sex but were afraid to ask. Well, that's the title of this class today. Everything you always wanted to know about pool, but we're afraid to ask. And I do this in every class. I'd like to open it up right now for any question that you might have about pool. Based on the 5 weeks we spent together, or just anything you wanted to learn about a particular shot, you know, how to use the bridge, drawing the cue ball, you know, whatever comes to mind. Anybody have any questions at all?
I have one question, which deals with playing the short rack.
Yeah.
Somebody breaks.
Right.
And on the break, it's scratched.
Right.
So is it then ball in hand or does it go back down?
Well, actually, we're going to play APA rules today. So you'll have ball in hand in the kitchen afterwards.
After that?
Yeah. Right.
Because nothing's been sunk yet.
Yeah, even if you made a bunch of balls and scratched, it's still open.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would have your choice to shoot at anything that was outside of the kitchen. All right. Good question. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Go over the draw.
Yeah.
With this, and where keep it. Where if there's a draw here, how much do you choke off? Or if it's here?
Oh, excellent question. Let me put it in a place where I can show you. Let me get the chalk. You notice whenever you're drawing, this is really important, okay? And you notice when I chalk, I go all the way around the outer part. Yeah, that's really important. You don't grind it in from top, it just falls off. But the question Bill is asking is how is your bridge vary depending on how close you are to the ball or how far away? It's more a case of how far you want to draw it, okay? All right? Now let's say that, I'll give you an example. Let's say the 8 is right here on the rail, and the cue ball and the 10 are like this. All right, I can't stun it over, can I? So I absolutely have to draw it all the way back to the rail to here. Now in order to do that, I've got to stroke it pretty good with some velocity going. So my stroke in this case is going to be a little bit longer and more powerful, right? Not muscling it, but stroking it, okay? Now I had somebody at my house giving a lesson the other day, and I gave him a little tip on drawing that seemed to help him a lot. But one of the things you can practice when you're getting ready to draw is have an imaginary ball right next to the cue ball like this. Now the key to a good draw stroke is not to force it, but the cue tip has to accelerate all the way through and stay low. See how far it went through? Now if that cue tip comes up at all, it's not going to draw very much. Or if you try to muscle it, okay, those don't work. It's got to be a nice, smooth, rhythmic stroke. So I want you to notice when I draw this off this 10 ball, that I'm not going to overpower it, but I'm going to hit it low. And I'm going to accelerate all the way through. But I'll have to get my Q-tip out of the way. See how easy I did that? Now, you notice I took a longer stroke, right? Now if I had a different shot, let's say like this, where I only have to draw it 6 to 8 inches. Watch this time my bridge hand will be a little bit closer, and I won't need to take as much stroke. See how short that was? So it depends mainly about how far you need to draw. And if it's just a short distance, your hand is closer and it's less stroke. If it's a long, like that first one, it's more of a complete stroke. And that's how I like to describe pool. You use portions of your stroke depending on how much power you need. Okay? Good question. Anything else? Chuck, I know you got some.
The only question I got is when you're going in the kitchen,
Yeah.
come out, where is it?
All right, I'll explain
Where
that.
is the foot spring?
All right, let's say you just broke and scratched, okay? Now, if the base of the 3-ball is behind the diamond, you wouldn't be able to shoot it. When I say the base, the part that's touching, okay, that would be not good. But if the base of the ball is outside the diamond, you can shoot the 3 in the side.
Even if the rest of it's still in the
Yeah.
base.
It's where the bottom of the 3-ball actually touches the felt. If it's outside that diamond, you can shoot it. Now, with the cue ball, let's say a guy gets up and he's supposed to be shooting from the kitchen and he does this. Yeah, that's wrong because the base of the ball is outside. Right. But if the base of the ball is either even or slightly behind, it's okay. All right? Now, a lot of you know that from BCA rule. Well, actually, BCA, you never have ball in ball. So it doesn't even apply. Willie, we're doing questions and answers right now. I know you got some. Go ahead. What do you got for me?
Hey, I ain't thinking that yet.
All right. Anyway, we're going to play APA rules today, short rack 8-ball. And Willie says he's going to win the tournament, right, Willie, today?
I doubt it.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to do a round robin, which is fun, which we get to play everybody. But since there are no more questions, I do want to say a little bit about English. Now, the reason why I waited till the last class to talk about English is because it introduces 2 really complicated issues, all right? And I'll demonstrate that real quick. Now, if I shoot the cue ball towards that diamond and I hit it easy, let's say I'm just going to roll it gently with 1 full Q-tip of left English. Pretty much, it's going to hit the diamond almost directly. It goes about 1 diamond over. But let's say I hit the same shot firm with more power with 1 Q-tip of English. Now you'll notice that that first time it pretty much stayed on its line because I hit it nice and easy. There was no deflection to the right. Okay, but if I hit it hard with left English, if you could see it, you'll notice that it goes slightly to the right of that diamond. I can see it, it hit about right here. Because the cue ball is round, if you hit it firmly on one side or the other, it actually pushes it out to the right. And it doesn't have time for the spin to curve it back. But that's why English is so difficult, because it's a very artistic part of pool. Because you got to consider all the variables. The tip you're using, the cloth, the rails, everything impacts when you use English to the left or the right. And remember, English is that. English is not hitting it low or high. English is hitting the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere of the ball.
Low and high is drawing and falling.
Yeah, that's different. In fact, you don't have to worry about deflection when that occurs.
If you put English on, say left English, you hit the rail too hard. As soon as you hit the rail, that really takes a lot of the spin off the ball.
Absolutely. The harder you hit it, the less the English is going to take. Now watch if I hit it easy with the same amount of English. In fact, if I use a full tip of English, I should go here. If I use 2 tips of English, I could go there. And let me, first one I'll use just a one full tip. Comes right at the diamond. If I use 2 tips to the left, it should go right in the side pocket. There's center, 1 tip left, 1 tip further left.
Okay.
All right. Now, can you do more than that? That's a good question. This is the power and limits of English. Let me go 2.5 now. 1, 2, 2.5. So this time I'm going to put 2.5 tips of left English. Okay, there's center. There's 1 tip left, 2 tips left, 2.5 left. Okay, see how that works? And now you might ask, well, hey, can we go any further?
Yes.
All right, and there's a specific technique now that you have to use. Now I've got 1, 2, 3 to get to the side pocket. The only way I can get there is I have to elevate slightly. That will make the cue curve a little bit to the left, which will allow me to get all the way over here. And let's see how close I can get. So I'm going to go center, 1, 2, 2.5 is about max. But this time, you'll notice I'm elevating the cue like this. Look at that, it went past it. That's how much the spin, and that's why I keep telling you guys, be careful when you elevate. Because look, did you see how far that went? Elevating the cue is a recipe for disaster usually. Especially when you can't see the shot. And not only are you hitting it off center to make it deflect, but you're also making it curve. And you bring into play those 2 problems.
When do you use English?
What?
When do you use English?
That was next. Thank you.
But before we go there,
Yeah, go
I have
ahead.
another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, you said about you elevating, you curving, and you throwing the ball more out.
Okay, exactly. Now that one shot that I shot over here with three diamonds, that's a good question because I'm jacking the cue up and I'm hitting some extreme left English. But when I first hit it, it'll deflect out to the right because I'm hitting the left side.
Right.
But it starts to curve back if I don't hit it very hard. And that's why I didn't hit it very hard because I'm actually playing to shoot it over here, but it's going to curve back to there, and it's going to keep curving with that hit elevating the cue. So I can actually usually go even past that pocket, but it deflects to the right first, but then it will spin back towards the side pocket. Yeah.
But okay, now, since you made that clear, okay, now answer this one. By you doing that, how much of that cue ball can you go out?
Okay, it depends on how hard you hit it.
No, I'm talking about, outside from center. How much of that cue ball can you use?
Chalk is your friend. You go
That's why they say 50-cent piece.
Yeah. In
No
fact,
farther out than that.
you take a big risk the further out you get because you're hitting a rounded surface like that. So absolutely important that you stay within that certain area. Like for example, I would never go this far to the left. Here's center, 1 Q-tip left, another Q-tip left, 2.5. Now if you get behind me, you'll see that if I go any further,
you're outside of the cue.
Yeah, I'm going to miss cue almost for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But I'd say 2.5 is a pretty good rule of thumb. And very rarely do you ever put that much English in a ball. And if you do, you usually miss the shot. So.
But a lot of people, they might have that same angle.
Yeah.
Now they need to get down here in this area.
Right.
So they try to hijack it up higher.
Okay. What Willie is saying is true. You might have the shot like this. Let's say that I have to hit the 1 ball and it's way down here. And my cue ball is like this. So in order to do that, we call this a masse, where I'm going to jack up enough, so I'm going to curve the ball more. Instead of jacking to here, I'm going way up here.
Right.
The more I jack up, elevate the cue, the more it's going to curve. Exactly. So if I wanted to hit that one, I'm going to need some serious jack on this to really hit it. And use some pretty good English. And you notice I hit that too hard, so it didn't have a chance to take the English. Let me hit it a little easier this time. And you'll see the difference, how when I hit it a little easier. Look at that. All the way down there.
Yeah.
So speed and everything in pool is important. Because the cue ball has time to grab when you hit it easier.
You hear that, Chuck?
Yeah. If you hit it hard, it doesn't grab. It just bounces off the rail without a lot of spin. But when you hit it medium speed, it'll take extremely.
Right.
Good questions, Willie. You sound like a plant.
Hey, yo, I just had to get the bird.
Right. All right. Here's why you use English. All right. The first case, we'll give you just a few examples. I don't want to do too much here, because we got a tournament to play. But let's say I want to get position on the 8. What kind of English do I use to get position?
Now you're going to use right.
Right. Now, how hard should I hit this?
The same stroke that you usually shoot.
Okay. Now, medium
The regular stroke should be.
Because if I hit it too hard, the English won't take as much. But when it hits the rail, it's going to change direction. The tangent line's way over here, so naturally on a stun shot, I would come out here by the 1. But on this particular shot, I'm hitting it high ball with right English. And you'll notice I won't hit it very hard, but I'm using about 2 Q-tips of English here. And I even almost scratch. See how much you can change the direction off the rail? Yeah.
High or low?
The reason why I hit it high was because the lower I hit it, it would have a tendency to keep it to this side too much. The higher allowed me to get it down here more.
Now do the left English, same.
Now, if I had the 8 ball down here, let's say, here's an example where I could use a little left English to get position. So I'm going to hit it pretty much center ball and just try to come somewhere near this diamond so it hits the rail and comes out behind the 8. So I don't need a whole lot of English. I'm just going to hit center ball with a little bit of left. Pretty good. I would have preferred to hit down there. I could have used a little more English.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the gear action that you're shooting at this ball.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of times when I play with English, I'll just do a regular type shot and completely miss this ball. So
Yeah.
how do you compensate
what
for
what
that?
Dorian is saying there is really important. It's called compensation. All right. And when you use English, you have to compensate a little bit. That's really a complex part of the game, because really what it takes is playing a lot. So you've shot the shot so many times, you know exactly how the cue ball will curve or deflect. The amount of deflection, for example, on that shot, if I use left English, wouldn't be that much because I didn't hit it that hard. But let's say I really, whacked it. Well, that left English would deflect to the right and make the cue ball hit the 12 ball thicker. All right. Now, if I hit it easy with left English, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to curve a little bit to my left. And this is why I waited till class 5 to explain all this. But it comes down to really playing a lot. And I want to encourage you all to master the vertical axis before you get into all this English stuff, because you can spend, many years mastering that. In fact, that's the quote in my handout. Playing pool at a high level requires the dexterity of brain surgery. Anonymous quote. And when you get into all this English stuff, that's really, how precise it is, because just a millimeter one way or the other changes the direction of the cue ball. But if you're using the middle of the ball, you're much more likely. Like for example, this same shot on the 8, instead of using English at all, I think if I was playing for money or in a tournament, I would just hit a stun shot with maybe a little bit of low. Get right into that diamond. That had no English on it at all. See, when I have a choice whether to use English or not, I will always use the not English. Okay.
Okay, now my next question for you, Pete.
All right, Willie.
Now, when you tell them to use this English, you got to clarify. You should use the same stroke that you shoot.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's no difference.
Right.
Yeah.
No, some people think to use English, they got to go a little harder, a little lighter.
Absolutely not.
No, use your same stroke.
In fact, Willie's exactly right, because when you're using English, and you call this running English, the left English will actually speed up the cue ball. Watch how easy I hit this, and I'll try to come in this area again for shape, but I'm going to hit it real easy, and the left English will kick in and speed up the cue ball. I didn't have to hit that hard at all to get all the way down. But if I hit right English on this shot, it slows it down. All right. Let's say that I want to get shape for the 2 over there, like this. And I have a little bit of angle.
Okay.
All right, good question though. Yeah, you don't, like Billy says, you don't want to use a different stroke.
Right, you want to use the same stroke.
Yeah. See if I can make this one this time. I'm using a little bit of right English so it'll slow it down. Are we about ready to play a little?
That shot, can't you
Go ahead.
send it back up the way you had it?
Yeah.
Now, can't you just shoot that with, say, a little top and just roll the cue ball this way?
Well, I
What,
could.
center?
It had a little more angle like this. If I roll the cue ball, the problem is I have to hit it too easy.
Okay.
If I roll it real gently from here, I could do that. See how easy I have to hit it? The other way, I put a little right English and stunned it a little bit so I could have more room for error. And be sure that when it hits the rail, it won't spin off.
It kills the ball.
Kills the ball. We call that a kill shot.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, as we play the tournament, I've got a little sheet here, and I don't think we might not have time to play everybody in the class because we have so many questions. But just match up and play one game of short rack 8-ball. Doesn't matter who you play, okay? And when you win or lose, let me know. Everybody's going to get a prize, and we've got your completion of certificates. And Cheryl, I got a special one for you.
This is like school. Everybody gets a prize.
Yeah. And Cheryl, when you play Cheryl, she gets to miss twice.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Twice
Yeah, per turn.
per game.
Per turn.
Per turn.
All right, well, have at it, and I'll be around if you have a question about anything. You can flip for the break or you can lag.
Hey, Chuck, I might take care of you first.
Well, I'm going to start with Bill.
All right.
Bill?